if our offense, and I think there towards the end, like when they didn't score after their last touchdown, they kind of they had a little drive, then they sputtered out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they were trying that hard because they didn't have to, but I really want to see Ohio or Penn State score points. I mean, man, they should have put up 40. I wish just for the thing, just for the fact that, it looks good on paper. Because like Ohio State, what was the final score of the Ohio State game? I'll pull it up here. But you got Ohio State, they're winning freaking 52-3. I mean, that's 52-6. I mean, that's a crazy score. And that's what I want to see from Penn State. But they were playing a much better opponent than Ohio State. But
Ohio State was at home. It's a home game too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we could have put up more. Like I was saying, we could have if we wanted to, but we stopped throwing the ball. Drew Lar didn't even throw the ball in the second half. Maybe I think he threw 1 or 2 passes. That's it, because they didn't have to. And then Bo threw 1 pass, and it was a touchdown to Tyler Warren. So the light on this is.
Yeah. So overall, Brett, what are your biggest takeaways from the game?
I'm not worried about the defense, and just like we thought, we weren't going to be worried about it. Tom Allen, you can see he was hyped and pumped up and ready to go. I think he called a good game, and I was actually watching a little bit of T. Frank went on live because of the long weather delay after the first half, and he was saying Tom Allen wasn't even doing Tom Allen stuff. He was just doing basic cover 3 and cover 1 stuff because we didn't have to do anything crazy because our defense is that good. And then Kobe King, we didn't even mention Kobe King yet. Kobe King was a force. He was all over the place.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Tony Rojas got the ball rolling in the second half. He looked a little bit better. I think he had a couple mistakes in the first half, but nothing crazy. You know what I mean? But yeah, just got to clean up some penalties, which that's a first game. I mean, the Michigan State game the other night, there were like 6 million penalties in that game. Couple different targets. That was a sloppy game compared to what we did today. The offense looks good. I do want to see other receivers get involved, which I think will happen in the second game. We play Bowling Green next week. That shouldn't be an issue at all. So I do want to see some other guys get involved. See Julian get some touches. See Liam Clifford get some touches. Maybe see some other tight ends get involved as well. They were on the field. There was a pass to Luke Reynolds. It was like a little just out route, like a little short out route. But Drew was getting pressured, so he just lobbed it and he overthrew him a little bit, which was fine. But yeah, I want to see more run game. Except for those 2 big runs from Singleton, there weren't enough like 8 or 10-yard runs. They were just 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards. The run blocking has to be a little bit better, but I think they'll get better with time. So,
well, what I never thought would happen is that we would come out throwing the ball, and we did. We came out throwing the ball. And Joel Klatt said that. He said, instead of coming out and running the ball like people thought they probably would, they came out and started throwing the ball.
Yep.
And do you think against Ohio State, against USC, Washington, are we going to be able to throw the ball, especially against Ohio State? They got Caleb Downs and freaking was it Trayvon Burke on the secondary, like probably 2 first-round picks.
I think we'll be able to throw some. I mean, if Trey Wallace can keep it up and stay healthy, I think he can get open against anybody. You know what I mean? But when it comes to Ohio State, I think we're going to have to figure out a game plan to get the ground game going first, for sure. If we can't run it on Ohio State, it's going to be an issue because we're not just going to be able to light it up like we did today in the first half. That's kind of what happened. We weren't running great, so we lit it up against them with Drew. If that happens against Ohio State, we can't get the ball rolling in the run game. We'll become one-dimensional, or we might not become any dimensional. So if we can't run the ball, so I think we can. I think Tyler Warren should have been involved more today. He had 2 catches, I think, but he's kind of that safety blanket. I want to see him get involved more. Which I think he can. It was game one. Maybe the game plan wasn't really much to get him open. I have no idea. But we'll have to see against USC. Even if their defense improved a little bit, it was so horrific last year. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to throw it on them. I think we'll be fine there. USC or UCLA and Washington shouldn't be an issue to throw it on them. We'll just have to wait and see. It's one game sample size. There were some promising things. The biggest thing was the explosive plays. Last year against West Virginia, I think we had a couple explosive plays, but not like today. So
I think against these better teams, running the ball, I think what we're going to have to really improve on is the run game, the run blocking. But I do think that we can pass against just about anybody. I mean, Aller's arm looked really good today. He looks way more confident.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way they were throwing the ball, the way they were executing was really good. Now, one thing that was really making me mad, and first of all, they went for 2 on the first touchdown. I don't know what that was.
I don't think any of us know what the heck happened there. That was bad.
I think they were just trying to show West Virginia, like, we can go for 2 with our backup quarterback. They had Bo Prabula and a receiver, quarterback, like running back, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they utilized him. I mean, he's a weapon. Why not use him? He's like a Taysom Hill, basically. And then, like early on, some of the play calling, like that third down, they ran like a little like halfback draw.
It was like 3rd and 8 or something.
Yeah,
3rd
I mean,
and 7.
yes, that can happen. That can be executed. They could run it for a touchdown, but the way they were blocking, it was a terrible call. So I'd like to see some better play calling where on first down they get a chunk and then they run it up the middle or something and they get like 2 yards and it's like 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4. Yeah. It's like they need to avoid 3rd down, especially on the road. We really want to see them avoid 3rd down, but I don't even know if we'll have a line for next week. I'm sure we will, but I'd imagine it's probably gonna be like 40 plus. And
35.
Penn State's going to cover that.
Yeah.
I think it might be like a little bit like Delaware last year where we beat them like 63-0, almost put up 70 on them. So I do think this offense is improved enough right now to put up that many points on the road in a hostile environment after a delay when we didn't really know what was going to happen with the offense. I mean, we were optimistic, but you can't truly know with a new offensive coordinator. So I do think it's looking good to where we're going to compete absolutely against every team that we play. But again, against Ohio State, what's the offense going to do? How are they going to execute? Are they going to make us all mad by running horrible play calls, almost getting like skittish against a good team? We know the defense is going to be fine. But again, like today, with the way our defense performed, dude, we could have beat them like 60-12. I mean, we could have put up so many points.
And the defense is just getting started. It's only going to get better. I mean, it's going to get good.
Absolutely.
It's going to get good.
Tom Allen's defense today, I mean, they had a lot of good 4th down stops. I mean, they really, really, really set the tone. It reminded me a little bit of Scrap's old defense, a little too conservative. I mean, we did have some turnovers, but I wanted to see a couple more turnovers. But you know what I mean? Like, it seemed like almost a little conservative.
But we had 2 turnovers. Yeah, we had.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. More than last year when we played them, we didn't get any turnovers off.
Yeah.
So, but I know what you mean. And that one interception was
defense. That's all they did was attack the ball. There's like a magnet in the ball or something. When our defense
they kept more of a Manny style than like I said, they didn't really do a Tom Allen style. They did more of a Manny Diaz style. I think the defensive tackles played well for sure. Zane Durant was all over the place. Devon J. Thomas, he changed his name. He looked really good. And also, Andy Kotelnicki, he knows how to attack a Big 12 defense. He came from the Big 12. So, I mean, that was probably just like his B work. He was just like, I'll just draw up some stuff because I know we're going to win. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he got too crazy with it.
So, who's your player of the game? You have one?
it's hard, man. I mean, I'd say I'll do it. I'll give 3 players. So I think the offense actually wins players of the game. So Harrison Wallace might be it for me. Because he was getting open, and Drew was putting it on money eventually. I'd say Drew or Trey Wallace, to be honest with you, because dude, that stiff arm that Drew did, that's not something I saw coming. I think that was just icing on top. He was like, I really am that guy. Like, and he pushed. It was a defensive tackle. Like, he pushed him right off him. You saw that? The stiff arm.
Yeah.
That was. Joe Klatt was calling him sneaky talented or something. Yeah.
Well, Gus Johnson was comparing him to Tom Brady.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. And here's the thing: we're gonna see Gus, and I said today, I was like, darn it, we got Gus Johnson again, and because I like Joel Klatt, he's like very unbiased, I think. And then like on that potential fumble by Bo, he said I think he was down. Like he really knows his stuff. I like that crew.
Yeah.
But against Ohio State, we're probably gonna have Big Noon again, and you're gonna see how biased he is for Ohio State.
Yeah. Joel likes this. I like Joel. Yeah. He likes Penn State.
Yeah, he does. He does. But
he likes this.
But then Gus Johnson, he's like he loves Ohio State. Loves them.
When Joel asked about what do you think the most impressive thing Penn State did today, it took Gus like a whole minute to like answer.
Yeah,
it was like competitive or
their jerseys. Yeah, I mean I don't know if he doesn't like Penn State, but you can tell he's very biased against them.
Yeah,
Matt might be hopping on.
Urban Meyer picked West Virginia to win. Sorry, Urban, but not a good pick, bud. And then who else was it he picked? It was 2 for West Virginia, 2 for Penn. So Brady Quinn picked Penn State, and Mark Ingram picked Penn State. So it was.
I don't know who Game Day had.
No, I didn't watch Game Day, but like on the Big Noon kickoff.
Yeah.
Brady, Urban Meyer, and one other guy, I forget who it was. They picked West Virginia to win. And I was like, all right, well, that's better because if for some reason Penn State were to have lost that game, which obviously was never happening, if everybody would have picked Penn State to win, it would have became a meme. You know how they do that. So
yeah,
we will not become a meme. And if we do, it's going to be Drew Aller. You just lost to Drew Aller type stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Drew as the player of the game. I mean, he played a really scrappy game. He ran the ball. He threw it well. I mean, he was on point. He made like that 4th down conversion to Tyler Warren. That was a phenomenal throw.
Absolutely.
The touchdown down the side. A couple throws to the right side. I mean, he was on point. He was very accurate. He was hitting them in the numbers. I mean, that touchdown in the end zone, man, like that was the only place he could have thrown that ball, and it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he threw it.
That was a good throw, yeah.
Yeah, threw it right over to the defender. And it's kind of funny because we kind of have less weapons than we did last year, and they looked way better. I mean, Trey Wallace was on fire. I don't know. I don't even remember seeing Julian Fleming. Did you? He was in
a more run plays because he's a really good run blocker. Like I knew that was going to happen. Just because he wasn't targeted in the past doesn't mean he wasn't open. It just means he was doing his reads. If somebody else is open, he's passing it to him. So I'm not too worried about that. But I didn't see Liam Clifford though. I'm sure he played. I didn't. I'm sure there's a snap count somewhere we can look into. I'll have to see what's up. But also it's hard to see when you're just watching a game. It's kind of hard to see who's all playing sometimes.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him, to be honest.
Clifford, I'm sure he was there, but Amari Evans was definitely on the field.
Yeah, that part was kind of weird because those are 2 guys that if we didn't see them play much today on the road against West Virginia, and here's the thing, we don't know for sure 100%, but because they would never say it, but I feel like they kind of knew like we're going to come in here, we're going to dominate this team, and they just didn't really show all that much,
Mm-hmm.
They didn't show too much.
That's what I was saying about Korolnick. He knows Big 12 defenses. He's played West Virginia before, so he knows how to dial it up on just here's some plays. We got this. Like you could tell he was chilling. He was up top, just hanging out. Like just like another day. But it was strictly business. But you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't. That didn't take much effort for him. I don't think at all. Like you were saying.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see him, down up in the booth rather than down on the sideline. I was kind of surprised to see that. I mean, it worked because he
Yeah.
has that aerial view, which is good, and that's where Yurcich was too.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, overall, I'd have to give it to Drew because I
Yeah.
mean, he just had a great game and he had a really good performance.
Yep.
The offensive line didn't perform as well as I would have liked him to. He was how many
Run blocking wise, the pass blocking they look pretty good overall.
West Virginia?
And
Oh,
two,
no
two
sacks.
of
Okay.
two of Drew's incompletions were throwaways. You know what I'm saying? So really, he still ended up with like a 64 percentage, which is decent, but that's with throwaways involved. So
It says Bo Prabula was 1 for 1.
yeah, he threw a pick to Tyler Warren, or he
Yeah,
threw a touchdown. Yeah, to Tyler Warren.
and then Drew was 11 for 17. So yeah, overall, man, it was just a really good performance. And I mean, the hitting was hard. We were
Yeah,
smacking them in the mouth. I mean, they were hitting us hard too. But
yeah,
the fact that West Virginia thought that they had a shot against us, I mean, like, I just want to ask West Virginia fans, like, are you embarrassed? Pat McAfee, like, you're on national television every week. Like, are you embarrassed at all? Your alumni played absolutely horrendously against us. I mean, they had like Tavon Austin there. They had that one NBA player. I don't remember his name. I don't know. I never heard of him. He was there.
mm-hmm.
Pat White was there.
Yep.
I mean, those were the glory days of West Virginia football. But I don't know, man. Like Garrett Green, they just shut him down. I mean, they just
Yeah.
they looked decent at the beginning. There was literally like what 3 fumbles back to back.
Yeah, that was. I don't know what happened with the Penn State one. That was Nick Dawkins like snapped it early. I don't know. That was a weird one. And then the West Virginia one, the guy in motion came across Garrett Green, and I think it nipped the guy in motion, like the receiver, running back, whoever it was. And that's what happened there. And Abdul Carter ran right up to him instead of just like letting him fall on it. He like destroyed him, so he couldn't fall on it. And then Jalen Reed jumped on it. So
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, well, like you just said, like with that bad snap on that one to and their center, I mean, he had a horrible start. But yeah, like Abdul a couple times, like he could have knocked Eric Green's head off.
Yeah.
And there was a couple times too where he was running and I thought, man, like just lay him out. Seriously, they could have popped him so good. Zakee Wheatley hit him, but
yeah,
he was a sitting duck there a couple times.
mm-hmm.
And our defense is absolutely just on point. They've been lifting. Kobe King, I mean, he looks totally different. He's huge.
He's gigantic.
Same with Rojas. Rojas really put on some weight. I mean, holy crap,
yeah.
dude. But Kobe
And
King, he looks
fast.
like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, Kobe King is like your if you could like make a dude in a lab for a middle linebacker, that would be Kobe King. The dude's outrageous. And somebody had the nerve the other day. They were posting about some linebacker that transferred from Maryland to Michigan. I forget his name already, but he's a pretty good linebacker, you know. And then I mentioned like Kobe. I was like Kobe King clears, you know what I mean? Like Kobe King, he's one of the best linebackers. And somebody had the nerve to say who. I'm like, you obviously don't watch college football if you just said who. You know what I'm saying? Like, so casuals, you know.
There was people in on Twitter talking about. Someone said, okay, this is what someone said. They said, I'm tired of us being Penn State Super Bowl every year. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Your Super Bowl? Like, how was West Virginia our Super Bowl every year? We've only played them twice in the past
40 years.
and like
and demolished them
We
twice.
smoked them both times.
What was my score prediction? It was like 38 to 15 or 14. I was pretty close. Told
Yeah,
you.
I don't remember, but yeah, you were right on.
That's right on.
And when you said about taking over like midway through the third quarter, like I knew what you were saying.
Mhm.
You know, Matt was like, I think it'll happen earlier than that, but like I knew what you were saying, and that
Yeah.
kind of happened. Like we didn't really truly take over till the third quarter, but we had a pretty convincing lead there at halftime.
The second quarter, we went on a run. We scored 20
Yeah,
points in the
yeah.
second quarter alone. That's actually, did you see that stat line? That was the first time a QB threw for 3 touchdowns in one quarter since Trace McSorley 2016 against Michigan State. And that was in the third quarter.
Wow,
That's a pretty cool stat.
that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't get on Twitter a lot, but I was on there, you know, looking for weather updates and like
Yeah.
when it was going to come back on because I missed like half the third quarter because I didn't even know they were back on.
Yeah.
Someone tweeted, they said, "I'm not watching Fox Sports again until November 3rd because there was too many Trump commercials." And I just thought, why November? Like what's November 3rd? First of all, what is that date? And
Right.
there's probably those commercials on every channel, so I really don't know what like, all right, yeah, sure, don't watch it again. That's have fun
That's
with you.
on you. Miss football. Sounds like a fun idea. Miss football.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. But yeah, overall, just like I said, I wanted to see more points, but dominating performance. I mean, like you said, dude, you said if we only score 38-35 and it looks good, then it doesn't matter. And that's what happened. So
Exactly. Yep.
yeah, so I guess we'll get the bets from you from now on, Brett.
It's funny because like if I could do this and like make a good prediction, but then if I actually make the bet physically myself, I will lose. It's just like it's because I'm half Irish, you know. If I was 100% Irish, I might have good luck, but
Yeah,
being half Irish, I get screwed. So I don't know.
we'd have to have a 4-leaf clover overlay on the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, is there anything else you want to say? I mean, we'll be back on Thursday for Bowling Green pregame. But is there anything else you wanna throw in
No,
there?
I think we covered it pretty well. Made a lot of good points on what we liked about the game and some things that we need to clean up. Like I said, the biggest thing we need to clean up is a little bit of run blocking and offside penalties. You cannot. There were like 4 or 5 of them, dude. Like you can't have that many of them. That's insane. So
Well, even on that last play, where they scored, West Virginia, I think Abdul was offsides, and then
probably
don't.
he was offside like half the game.
And here's another thing too, dude. That one first down they gave them was
It's
so bad, like it wasn't even close.
well, that's why when they said Amari Evans pushed off,
Yeah,
like you take it with a grain. You know, it's like all right, well, you screwed Penn State over on that call. Let Amari with the catch, you know, and that's because Drew just threw it too late, but still a good throw, just a little bit too late.
Well, I think that's and we were talking about, but I think that's such a dumb penalty because
yeah, like what are you gonna do?
What,
yeah, you just stand there.
Supposed to do? Are you
with your hands in your
like elbow him, punch him in the stomach? I mean, like kick him in the leg so he falls. I don't know.
Are you supposed to do a Jalen Kimber and you hear it on national television?
Yeah, you're supposed to just like jump up and fight for it. I mean,
yeah,
you're trying to push him away so you have a better shot. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what exactly is the move there. And on top of that, like, go ahead.
No, I agree. Like, what else are you supposed to do? You can't just stand there and like hope it falls in your hands. So I don't know.
I mean, honestly, like that's like a legitimate question coming from me. Is like, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to like? I don't know, man. I just, but like you said, they didn't call it, and I think there was some reasons for that. You know, as to why they did not call that push off. because like it was like Alabama in 2011 on that fake punt. That wasn't even close to a first down, and they gave it to him. I mean,
No.
and here's the thing: they reviewed it, and they still came back as first down.
Joe Klatt was like, I don't agree with that call
That
at
wasn't
all.
even close.
No. And Gus stayed quiet because he doesn't like Penn State. So he was just like, I'm going to sit this one out.
He said, Gus, what's one thing that stood out to you about Penn State today? Joe Paterno isn't the head coach anymore. That'd be like back when John O'Neill would call games, dude. Holy crap. That was horrible. Some of the stuff that he did. I mean, he tons of calls went against Penn State when he was reffing for us, you know. So, But if you guys don't have anything else, we're gonna hop off. But Penn State wins convincingly.
Want to know?
34-12. Yep, want to know. Drew Aller has 3 touchdowns, 216 yards. Trey Wallace had 2 touchdowns. Good old Tyler Warren, he had a touchdown. Katron had a receiving touchdown.
Harrison Wallace has had more touchdowns in one game today than he had all last year because he was hurt. Maybe I think he only had 2 touchdowns total in his career so far. So good sign to see. Gets you hype.
Yeah. Did he catch the opener last year too against West Virginia?
He led the receivers in catches against West Virginia. That was before he got hurt. He had 7 catches for 76 yards. But even today, he had 2 less catches, and he had how many more yards and 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, an even better game today, really, than last year.
Yeah, I think it was
7 catches, 74 yards, something like that. He didn't have a touchdown, though, last year. It was, I think, Tyler Warren. Well, the first touchdown was Keandre Lambert-Smith. And then Tyler Warren, maybe, or Theo Johnson, and some running touchdowns.
We only had 2 receivers with receptions today. That's it.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying, which is fine because that's all we needed, but we need to see that progress as time goes on. And like I said, just because they weren't targeted doesn't mean they weren't open. It just means the other guy was open, so they passed it. So.